Hey, this is Wren Barnes, W-R-E-N. Hey, I just want to talk for a minute. So there is an abusive ex-boyfriend that is spreading lies about me on ripoffreport.com, and he's also put up some fake YouTube videos under a fake name, Adrian Robbins, accusing me of doing different things. And I have worked really hard to be a person of integrity and to be honest, even if it's a sacrifice to me. And so I just want to put this out there to just kind of clarify that, like, this is a person that has multiple arrests and police reports in states for theft, fraud, rape, assault, and battery, even being criminally charged. And yeah, he's a rich kid. So his parents pay for lawyers, and who knows what's expunged or not. But this is a person that's even raped people, broken into their house after he raped them and stolen stuff from their house. This guy is a nightmare. When I met him, he lied extensively about who he was, total pathological lying. And I didn't know what a narcissist was or a sociopath before I met him. Now I do. Now I've had to figure it out to be like, what just happened to me? This guy is medically diagnosed, according to his parents, who have verbally told me, bipolar, narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, off the charts. And in a confession email I have of him to his father, he admitted to stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars. His stepfather says it's closer to $1 million to $2 million range. He's told me he's also disowned him because he recently became violent. He lives on a $4,000 a month allowance from his parents. And I just have to stop for a second. This may be the first YouTube video I have ever put out there. I'm a private person. I don't want to have to even gossip or talk about this stuff online. This is just a nightmare, because this person is relentless. He said things to me like, you're not allowed to be rich before I am. So he's trying to sabotage my business as an actress and a film producer that I worked very hard. This is like a guy who got kicked out of high school for bullying, and I graduated early with honors and have 3 college degrees. I worked hard to get a bachelor's in business and a film degree. I worked very hard. Again, I mentioned I'm the type of person to be straight up honest, and sometimes people don't appreciate that right away, and then later on they're like, oh, yeah, she at least was honest and I can trust her. Versus this guy is charming, really charming. And that's what narcissists do, is they put on a mask, and this guy put on a mask for a long time, and by the time I found out things about him, he stole things from me, and he blackmailed me that he wouldn't give them back, and I wasn't allowed to tell people what was going on, and he was, unfortunately, pretty physically abusive, and at times, and just lied, and, just did a bunch of stuff that, unless you've been a victim in those situations, figure out, it's hard to get away. But I mean, I take responsibility that I trusted him. This was my life lesson, that some people will lie to your face. Elaborate, lies. I think on one of the first dates we went on, he was like, I don't have any brothers and sisters. Again, just this thing where he's like, oh, feel sorry for me. This big, 6'3", 6'4" guy, oh, feel sorry for me. And then you're just like, oh, you didn't have any. Okay, so that's why. This kind of thing. And later you find out, you have brothers and sisters. Just debate, just to start off, kind of but narcissists don't take responsibility, and they blame you for their problems. So anytime you confront them about something, it becomes your problem. And me as an empath, I'm like, oh, I did that wrong. Oh, okay. And then you get in this thing, and then you have to get away from it and be like, oh, that was all him, and he really turned that around. And I'll just never put myself in that situation again. I was new to Utah. I had a very open mind. People are different here. Utah culture is different, and so he stalked me, and I mistaked it for, unfortunately, him pursuing me. And I didn't know him, and there's red flags. I look back, then now I can see it more clearly, because it's not it's different kinds of red flags. It's like he stole a bunch of money and he like shrouded himself in like, well, I'm successful, but he's not. And then just mentally manipulative things. I've had people describe, literally, like I'm quoting what other people have told me, genius level deceptive. That's a common one I get. Wolf in sheep's clothing is what I get describing him. His name also is SKYLER Brandon Jensen, and it's SKYLER Brandon Jensen. And the amount of arrests I found in other states in the past couple years and the amount of misdemeanors in his hometown of Holiday is pretty high. I think they said 8 misdemeanors in the past 4 years. And I've never been arrested. I don't get in trouble. I was like class president, goody two shoe person growing up, and I've worked very hard on my own. I don't have it like I don't have any family in Utah, so there's certain part where even his family, certain parts of his family found out about it and like said different manipulative things, and you just find out it's an enabler. One of the parents is an enabler and covers their tracks and just thinks their son couldn't do anything bad. This is not a video to defame. This is a video because for the past 6 months, I've had crap about me online that are lies. Like, let's start with one, something like I got kicked out of his house. No, he hit me in his house. I ended up in the emergency room in the middle of the night. That's horrible, by the way. Like, if we just stop right there, like, that's true. Like, I can show you going to the emergency room for assault and his name is on the hospital records. And, you know, he was literally getting evicted next door. You can Google 2397 Boy Street, Boyes, and he was getting evicted next door. So, you know, he preys on the fact that, like, I'm not a super emotional feeling woman. I'm a thinker. And I tend to be assertive. So it's like, oh, well, let's make her this kind of person. It's like, well, yeah, I'm also a creative person too. Like, I'm an artist. Like, I'm an actress. Like, I'm a jump on planes and go to different states kind of person. So I've had a big house to myself before, and that was a lot to manage and a lot of bills. Instead, I have less stuff and I travel more. And my family pays for a maid. You know, it's like he tries to make this like I'm this messy person. Oh, warning, don't date Wren. It's like, well, you know, I don't know. That's not high value on my system. I'm clean is what I am. Like, I'm disinfect and clean, keep things clean, like clean person. But like, I'm creative too. And so like anybody who's truly creative, they're not like into this OCD stuff. They're into expression. And so I can tell you factually, he used to have an Airbnb at his place that his family has paid me money to clean up after him. And there are reviews online that I can show where they're like, I feel sorry for this girl, meaning me, cleaning up after him because he's so irresponsible. And so I did not leave this house messy and get kicked out. There's no eviction on me from his house. And I can even prove that he evicted the girl that was around there before me that I never met. Like, I could show you an eviction paper. There was no start of it. I don't get evicted. In fact, some girl read this review online about me, the first ripoff report. I paid her $700 to move in. She decided not to rent for me after reading this thing. I took her to small claims court and she paid me $1,400 for that inconvenience. So like, this guy's bad. That's the exact result of somebody reading this stuff online and taking it to heart too much. It really turned into me making money. And, you know, I am doing well in my career. It's completely ridiculous that I have to tolerate this kind of abuse. He was very emotionally abusive, spiritually abusive. I truly feel like he's evil. And like, that's the definition. Like, Satan is a narcissist and a liar and a cheater and a stealer. And this man has lied, crazy lies to me, stolen physical things and my business and my things of my personal nature. Terrible. He cheated on me and he lied and was like, you better not date anybody else. I'm exclusive to you. And he like flat out was like having secret affairs. So yeah, I'm kind of tired of having to tell this individually to people. those things are facts, and I'm also entitled to really discern and look at what's going on and be like, yeah, I was straight up a victim. I don't live a life like a victim. I'm not a victim mentality, but yeah, I was literally, literally a victim. And I don't, you'll see this is like the first YouTube video I've ever put out there. Because I don't like talking about this stuff. I'm like really, really take seriously not to gossip. If I tell a story, I can leave someone's name out. But the reason I give the name is because you can Google that name. You can go into, you know, you may not find it online because they'll spend their money and hide it. You just go into court and you pull up their record. This guy's driving without a license right now, I believe. It's been suspended for a while. You know what I mean? His parents pay his bills. But whatever. You know, it's not his birth father, it's his stepfather's money. And I don't care what he does, but I haven't talked to him at all in a year. But he's a mean person. He's ruined a lot of lives, and you don't have to look very far. And, you know, honestly, if you want to get to know me, get to know me. I'm a nice person. I really don't want to have to put this out, but I respect myself. I respect my business that I built, and you know, just learn I gotta be a little pickier with who I spend in my space. Hope you're having a great day. I'm very tired. I had a long day ahead of me, and thanks for taking a moment to try to hear a little bit about me. If you've bothered to Google me, I imagine maybe you want to take me on a date, and it freaked you out that you saw that. It's just his way to control me. It's his control to be like, ooh, let me ruin your life. And something dumb. You know, he hopes, you know, he values social currency. He's always had money. He's enabled. He's spoiled. So he's like, oh, that's, you know, he's never had to do that. He never went to college, never graduated, never had to work hard for money. He just lives on allowance. It's like, I just don't feel like I could have seen it coming, because you can't even imagine, oh, this guy's lying about his success. He clearly stole a few $1,000,000 from his stepfather, who's afraid to accuse his own wife of funneling it to her son, to her only son. You can't imagine that. You know, some people are really susceptible. And honestly, if you're reading the stuff online and you don't want to be my friend or date me or hire me because of some, you know, smut magazine online, it's like Ripoff Report is like some tabloid of the internet that, like, I just can't press delete and make it just go away. That's not how it works. But yeah, it's look up Tony Robbins on Ripoff Report. And another thing, I didn't do business with this guy. I've got tons of proof he tried to steal my business from me. He affected my business. He tried to, like, cause problems, and it major con problems. I just dated him. It took me a year and a half till anybody truly opened up and spent a few hours to paint what was going on. Fortunately, I asked some women what they thought about him, and either they legit didn't know, or they were friends with his ex, who he had abused. And they just didn't want to say anything, because what I hear from a lot of people is they are afraid of him, because he's vindictive, and he's revengeful, and he's like a 6'4" toddler that throws a fit with his fists if he doesn't get what he wants. And if you've ever had a hole punched in the wall by your face when you've tried to get away, maybe you just wouldn't know. But I refuse to live as a victim, but acknowledge that sometimes we literally are the victim of a situation that's hard to get away from. I'm grateful I'm alive. Grateful whoever's watching this. Thanks for taking time to at least get an idea of who I am, because they're just lies. I don't steal. I don't know. I just am not the person that he's painting this picture of online. And I've never been evicted. I pay my rent. I worked hard. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. If you have any questions, that might be the best thing to do than to believe any rumor that some controlling, abusive boyfriend that's hoping that one day maybe he'll get back together with me if he runs off all the other guys. Or maybe I won't be more successful than him on my own, by my own merit, if he, like, deters business from me. Yeah, so I hope you don't buy into the lies, and take time to, you know, pray about it. Use your intuition. Maybe check your sources. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for taking time to get to know me. Bye.